Hey y'all. So I remember several years ago really feeling like I didn't know enough. I was just really kind of starting off and as a health coach. I had been a fitness coach for a while. And that was just really kind of starting off as a health coach, meaning really focusing on nutrition and lifestyle coaching. And I remember I got to a point where I started feeling really insecure, really inferior. And I got to a point where I really wanted to help people with their health. But I was like, man, I've only been doing fitness coaching. I have only been a social worker. Like, none of my background says I should be doing this. And so I decided that I didn't know enough to help people in health. And so I decided to go back to school and to become a doctor because I had kept hearing my clients say that every time I gave them advice about nutrition, they would tell me what their doctor said instead. Like, my doctor says I need red meat for iron. My doctor says I have to eat fish for omega 3s. My doctor says I need meat for protein. And so I was like, okay, I'm plant based. I know you can thrive on this lifestyle, but apparently I don't know enough, or maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I remember a couple years ago really feeling like an imposter and deciding to go to school to become a doctor. And so I enrolled in Wayne State University as pre-med, starting taking classes, started taking science classes. I'm sitting in biology. I'm sitting in organic chemistry. Like, I'm sitting in like social work classes again as a 30 something year old with these young 18-year-olds. And because had this inferiority complex, I was feeling like I wasn't good enough or wasn't smart enough to be a health coach. And I have heard this over and over again from multiples of my clients too, multiple people, current and aspiring coaches. And when I say, why aren't you coaching right now? Why aren't you taking clients? Why aren't you making money? You have an amazing story. You have an amazing testimony. What's going on here? And inevitably, almost all of them say, I don't know enough. I don't know enough. And it really boils down to some version of imposter syndrome where they feel like they don't know enough. They don't feel like they're smart enough. They don't feel like they're articulate enough. And so when I hear this, I like get really, really sentimental. And because that's where I once was, right? Many years ago, I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a health coach. I wasn't good enough to help somebody lose the weight. I felt like I wasn't good enough to help somebody with like high blood pressure and high cholesterol and all of these things. And so I too, at one point, thought I didn't know enough to be effective as a health coach. I knew enough to be a fitness coach, but I felt like I didn't know enough to be a health coach. And I believe this specific belief is the number one belief that prevents people from thriving as an information age entrepreneur, as a knowledge-based entrepreneur, meaning if you go into entrepreneurship to teach somebody something else, this 9 to 5 belief could potentially run you out of business if you don't evict it today. I was on a suitability interview for someone who applied for our program, the Plant Protocol Business Accelerator, just last week, right? And I asked her that infamous question in the interview. Like, it sounds like you've been passionate about health and wellness for a while. What do you feel like you need? What is your business missing? Why are you applying to work with us today? And she's like, I didn't go to school for this. I don't know this. I don't really feel like I can charge people. So what happens is people believe that they don't know enough. They feel inferior. They feel like they are uneducated. They're not sharp enough, smart enough, articulate enough to start helping other people. And what that inevitably does, this is how it runs you out of business, is you feel like you're not worthy of charging. I have had a lot of people, be like, you know what? I've been passionate about this for a long time, Lisa, but I've just been doing it for free. I've just been helping people for free. So if you have a knowledge base, if you are participating in like this shared information era that we're in, where like you can go to your peers now to learn a skill at a high level, as opposed to having to go to formal university. And you want to contribute to this marketplace by bringing a knowledge or a skill set or mastery in something that you have, and you want to bring it to the marketplace. One of the quickest ways to run yourself out of business is to feel guilt over charging, because you feel like you didn't get your education formally, therefore you haven't earned the right to charge. Let me say this very slowly and let me say it again. The number one reason that people tell me, share with me, as to why they are not coaching, they are not teaching, they are not sharing their mastery in their subject matter, is because they feel they are not deserving of money. They feel they have not earned money that people could potentially pay them because they didn't earn their knowledge in a formal education setting. And here's what your 9 to 5 experience has told you. Because you likely, if you currently work a job or if you've ever worked a job before, like I have, you likely got that job in a very formal, traditional way, meaning you got some type of skill in formal education. You went to high school, you went to college, you went on to get a higher degree, master's, some of y'all PhDs, and you're used to getting an education. You're used to taking that education, putting it on a resume or a CV. You're used to taking that resume or that CV and taking it to a potential employer and asking for a job and a salary in exchange for the resume, not for an exchange for what you've proven you can do. The formal process that we're taught to earn money in American culture is you go to school, you get a certificate from that school, you take proof of that certificate, you put it on a resume or a CV, curriculum vitae. You take that curriculum vitae or you take that resume, you take it to a potential employer, and you hope that they will employ you and give you a salary in exchange for your resume. That's how most of us have been taught to earn money, right? So here's what happened when someone comes over into my space, when they come over into the coaching space or the course space or the program development space or the online education marketplace. They scare themselves out of charging. They scare themselves out of business because it doesn't look formally how it looked in the 9 to 5 space. They're like, I can't earn this money, or I can't charge anybody this much, or I can't charge anybody at all because I didn't go to school for this. I wasn't formally educated in this space. Therefore, I only have a right to work for free. I don't have the right to monetize. I only have the right to work for free. I don't have the right to monetize. And I hear this over and over again. Now, I don't know what happens in other cultures. I don't know what happens that much with other sexes, but I can tell you with Black women specifically, who I primarily serve, like the overwhelming majority of our client base in my plant-based coaching program and in my business coaching program is Black women. So I can't speak for everyone. So I'm not going to make an umbrella statement, but I have been working with Black women for a long time. It'll be a decade next year. And I've been one for even longer. And so here's what I know about us specifically. We have imposter syndrome that's off the charts when we have not had formal education in something that we want to sell. Our imposter syndrome is off the charts if we do not have formal education in something we want to sell. That 9 to 5 mindset that says I have to be formally educated through some institution that gave me a certificate or a degree. I have to put that on a resume. I have to be able to articulate my value in an interview setting, and they are going to give me work and a salary in exchange for that. That 9 to 5 belief is going to run your whole business out of business if you don't evict it immediately. Let me tell you why. In the online education space, in the coaching space, to be qualified over here is slightly different. Like what I thought is what most Black women used to think. That's why I enrolled in pre-med at Wayne State University some years ago, because I was trying to bring my 9 to 5 mindset into my business. And I'm like, okay, the only way my clients are going to listen to me, the only way people are going to pay me the money that I want to be paid, the only way that I'm going to persuade somebody to make these lifestyle modifications is if I dangle a medical degree in front of them. Right? I thought the same nonsense, right? I thought that was the only way. It's one way, but it's not the only way to get to the end goal. And so what happens is, if most of our clients are aspiring coaches or aspiring entrepreneurs in the service-based industry, in the knowledge shared knowledge industry, if they're like, Lisa, my background isn't like, I'm passionate about health, Lisa, but I went to school for something, accounting. That doesn't have anything to do with health. So I guess I'm just going to be a volunteer worker for 10 years in my business. Like, Lisa, I'm super passionate about fitness. I'm super passionate about nutrition science. I'm super passionate about mindfulness and mind, body, and spirit, and helping individuals get whole and healthy. And but Lisa, but I went to school for human resources. I went to school for communications. I went to school for law. Like, I went to school for philosophy. So I guess I'm just gonna run a nonprofit business. Literally, we run ourselves out of business because our 9 to 5 programming tells us I only am worthy of money if I got a degree from a formal setting or institution. Okay, so let me explain to you what the truth is. Okay, that's the 9 to 5 belief that have been keeping a lot of people that come into my programs from launching, from fully taking off. The lack of confidence, the inferiority complex, the imposter syndrome, because I'm not a nurse by trade, Lise. I'm not a doctor by. I'm just somebody who went out here and did the work to lose 70 pounds and reverse my own hypertension, but I'm not qualified to coach anybody. I'm just somebody who went out here and mastered the art of consistency and discipline in my exercise and in my eating. I'm just somebody who went out here and mastered self-awareness and personal development, and balanced my own hormone, and overcame anxiety and overcame depression, but I'm still not qualified, Lisa, because I didn't go to anybody's university, and I don't have a history in this, and nobody gave me a certificate after I walked across their stage, and I can't put my transformation on a resume. So that must mean I don't deserve, and I didn't earn the money that I want to charge. So you know what? I'm just gonna stay in a 9 to 5 that I hate, because I earned my ability to hate that job, and I'm just gonna create a business that I'm going to call for profit, but I'm going to operate like a nonprofit because I lack too much belief in myself. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So here's the truth. So let me tell you how it really works over here. And I'm telling you experience. I'm not telling this from judgment. I spent 2 years in pre-med thinking the same way until I finally came to my senses and dropped out. So let me tell you the truth. Okay? If you want to run a business in the shared knowledge space, in the online education space, this means you want to create courses. This means you want to create coaching programs. This means you want to create partnership and licensing deals. This means that you want to create, I'm only talking to service-based, shared knowledge people. And I'm not talking to product-based businesses. I don't know nothing about how to sell your t-shirt. I'm talking to people who have developed mastery in a subject matter, and they want to sell that mastery in exchange for money. That's who I'm talking. That's how I should have started this episode. Okay. So let me tell you how it works over here so you can know the truth. So you can run a real business. Okay. So you can stop sitting on your laurels and being so insecure about what you don't know. Okay. The thing you need above and beyond some type of degree or formal education to have a successful business in the shared knowledge coaching online education space is you need to understand, you need the blueprint for how to take a proven process and turn it into a packaged process. That's what you need more than anything. You need a blueprint for how to take a proven process and turn it into a packaged process. Let me tell you the difference between the two. Okay. What most people think, again, is that they need somebody, usually a white man, to give them a stamp of approval and say, that a girl, you would know enough to go out and make thousands of dollars. That a girl, with my signature on your certificate, you now have earned the right to go create a 6 and 7 and 8 figure business. That's not what you need. What you need is a blueprint for how to take a proven process and turn it into a packaged process. So what's a proven process? And I'm just going to use what I sell as an example, right? Y'all know I sell health for a living, right? You know I'm a plant-based health coach and a plant-based business coach. You know that I help people with chronic health challenges adopt a whole food plant-based diet and combat those chronic health challenges: obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, autoimmune conditions, right? I have helped hundreds of people. I've touched thousands of lives with our programming and nearly the past decade. Okay. So a proven process is a plant-based diet. That's what a proven process is. I sell a proven process. I don't sell theory. I don't sell hope, right? I don't sell wish. I sell proven process, right? So I've personally used the process myself, right, to overcome weight issues. And I have personally helped a ton of people use the same proven process, a whole food plant-based diet, to combat health issues. A plant-based diet is just a proven process. It's just a proven process. However, the way you make money in the shared knowledge, the online education space, is by taking a proven process and turning it into a packaged process. That means that you have to develop the ability to reverse engineer a proven process into steps that somebody else can now follow to get the same or a similar result. See, the reason most people are insecure about what they know, the reason most people don't have confidence in their ability to help other people when they come over into this space is because they know on a high level the proven process. They like, I know meditation works. I know mindfulness works. I know a plant-based diet works. They know the proven process, but they haven't sat down to reverse engineer it and turn it into a packaged process. A packaged process is a linear process that someone who's in a similar situation that you were in can follow to get the same or very similar result that you got. Which means in this information space, shared information space, when you monetize information, when you monetize intellectual property, the thing that you need to make money and to sustain business is a proven packaged process. Which means before you can have a proven packaged process, the prerequisite to that is a receipt. You have personal receipts. You take the process that you use to get that personal receipt, and you package it into a linear step-by-step process that somebody else can follow. You don't need to go out and get another degree. You don't need somebody that don't look like you, sound like you, or know you to validate you. What you need is to take a receipt, meaning something you've done in the world that other people are now trying to do. What have you done already? See, we're not selling something you hope to do. We're only out of integrity selling things you've already done. So you take something you've already done, you look at it and say, what vehicles did I use to get this done? Okay, here are all the vehicles I used to get this done. What did I do? I lost a bunch of weight. What vehicles did I use to lose a bunch of weight? Okay, I changed my diet. Okay, fitness. Okay, I use journaling. Okay, I use mindfulness. Somebody else might use meditation. Somebody else use intuitive eating. Somebody else might have used calorie counting. Somebody else might have used macros. What you did a thing. Step one to get over imposter syndrome and money in this online education, entrepreneurial, shared information space. Step one, do a thing. Step two, identify the vehicles you use to do the thing. Not just the main vehicle. That's also a mistake people make. Like, I use the plant-based diet to maintain my 65-pound weight loss, but that's not the only vehicle I use. That's the biggest one, but I use some other stuff too. Like, I found my purpose. That's a big one. So if I'm a package a process for somebody, I can't just teach them how to eat plant-based. I got to tell them, you got to find meaning in your life, because the thing that kept me away from the donuts and the sugar is when I found purpose, when I found the stage. When I got on the stage, I got out of Krispy Kreme. So what are all the vehicles you used to do the thing? So you do a thing, you sit down and say, what are all the vehicles I used to do the thing? All right. Now I'm going to take those vehicles that I use to do the thing, and I'm going to package that into a linear process for somebody else to follow who's in a similar situation as me. What's up, Jenny Mac? Hey, lady. It's good to see you on Instagram. What's up, Sharon, on YouTube? Sorry, y'all. Listen, I was so busy. I forgot y'all was here. I ain't going to hold you. What's up, Nataki on Facebook? I forgot y'all were here. I'm sitting here waxing deep. Anyway, good morning. So, because listen, it's everybody I just said hello to is a Black woman. So I'm just gonna talk. What's up, Bonnie on Instagram? I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm just gonna talk to my Black woman because this is who I see constantly battling imposter syndrome. They supposed to been started the YouTube channel. You were supposed to been wrote the book. You were supposed to been create an offer and put it out there for somebody else to buy, but we're not doing it because we feel so inferior. We lack so much confidence in ourselves. And the reason we lack confidence is because that 9-to-5 belief that tells us we're supposed to have went through a formal process to earn money like we went through to get our 9-to-5 job. We bring that over into our business and think, I didn't go through this formal process to earn a qualification over here. So therefore I'm not deserving of the money that I want to charge. And so I'm just going to work for free and throw my pearls at swine. I'm just going to work for free. And because I don't feel good enough. Okay, here's how we rectify that. Number one, have you did the thing? Have you did the thing that you're trying to teach somebody else how to do? Because if you haven't done the thing that you're trying to teach somebody else how to do, you should feel terrible. Hey, y'all watch that new show, that new series on Netflix called Sprint. It's so good about the sprinters, Sha'Carri, all of them, like Noah Lyles, all of them. Have y'all, man, it's so good. It's so good. And I love watching it because you don't just hear from the athletes, you hear from the coaches, right? And many of the coaches are what? Retired athletes. So what? They have now earned the right to do what? Be a coach. Most of the coaches, matter of fact, now I don't know enough about sports to probably even say what I'm about to say, but I'm just about to just throw this out there. I believe in sports, most coaches didn't go to school for coaching. I believe in sports, most coaches are coaches because they did the thing that they're coaching other people to do. They are retired Olympic athletes. They are retired football and basketball players. I mean, I know not all coaches, but I know some of the best coaches are what? They have done the thing they are now showing somebody else to do. They didn't go sit in a classroom to learn how to be a coach. They did the thing. So if you're listening to me right now and you have information that you're trying to sell and you're trying to monetize in this online information space, number one, have you done the thing? Yes, Lisa, I've done the thing. Number two, you identify all the vehicles you use personally to successfully do the thing. Yes, Lisa, I've identified all the vehicles that I personally use to successfully do the thing. Okay, so you are aware of the proven process. Yes, Lisa, I know what my proven process is. Have you turned that into a package process? No, Lisa, I haven't. Therein lies your imposter syndrome. It's not because you are not qualified and not good enough and don't know enough. It's because you haven't taken the time to sit down and reverse engineer the process that you use to get the result so that you can package it for somebody else. I promise you, when you do that, when you take a proven process and turn it into a package process, your confidence will shoot through the roof. Because the reason you're not confident, you feel like you need to go to school and you feel like you need to be more articulate, is because you haven't taught it yet. You haven't said it enough times yet. Listen, mastery comes from teaching. If you want to learn something, you read it. If you want to comprehend something, you write it. If you want to master something, you teach it. You already have the knowledge because you've already done the thing. What trumps a lived experience? What trumps a lived experience? You think 4 more years in the classroom, 2 more years in the classroom, 1 more year in the classroom is going to trump a lived experience? Are you insane? I would much rather have the person who lost 100 pounds teach me how to lose weight versus the person who sat in a couple nutrition science classes teach me how to lose weight. Nothing trumps a lived experience. If you have a lived experience and you're going to monetize that lived experience, all you have to do is master turning this into a package process. That's what you need a blueprint for. That's what you need a blueprint for. So I want you guys to stop thinking that an intellectual based business and entrepreneurship requires the same thing that your 9 to 5 required. Your 9 to 5 required, again, you to go to school and for somebody to pat you on the head and say that a girl as you walked across the stage, a person who you don't know put their signature on a piece of paper and handed it to you. You took the words off that paper and put them on a resume. You took that resume and took it to a potential employer in exchange for a potential salary. That is not how it works over here. So stop coming over here with all this inferiority. Stop coming over here with all this imposter syndrome. Have you done a thing successfully? Yes, you can monetize the things you've done successfully in this information and knowledge age. But there's room for you over here. I don't know. Don't look at me talking about, Lisa, I'm not as good as you. The reason I'm better, not as a human, but better at what I do, is because I come on here every Monday and I teach it over and over again. I'm on my podcast every week teaching it over and over again. I take nearly every stage that's offered to me to teach it over and over again. The reason I'm sweet is not because I went to more schools than you. The reason I'm sweet is because I constantly am taking what I'm reading and what I'm writing, and I'm putting myself out there to teach it so that I develop mastery on what I already know, so that when I present my price point, I'm not presenting it with inferior energy. Stop thinking the same 9 to 5 requirements are required in your business. You're going to run yourself out of business thinking the only way you're qualified to earn money is by having a formal education in whatever you're selling. It's not true. It's not true. You know what I'm so proud of? I was thinking about this the other day. Lord help me. I said I was going to be off here in 15 minutes. We at 26:11. Okay, I'm about to wrap this up. But I know what I was thinking about the other day that I'm so proud of? I was thinking about how many receipts I have. Like I was thinking, like if I made a call right now, like if I put an email out to my email list right now, thousands of people, if I send a text message out right now to our text message list, and I was like, hey, yo, somebody is doubting that I know what I'm talking about. Anybody who's reading this right now, if you were a former client or a former student of mine, would you mind showing up on this day at this time and telling them the result that you got from working with me? I could get hundreds of people right now. Oh, yeah. I work with Lisa. I lost 20 pounds on her challenge. I lost all this and got off of medications going through the program from the table. I've been in her business coaching program for this long and I got clients and a corporate gig out of it. I got receipts. I could do a hootie hoo. I could do a hootie hoo right now. I could do a hootie hoo right now and be like, receipts, gather, get information. You feel me? And right now I can have people being like, yeah, no, she's not a doctor. Nope, no MD, no DO, nope. But she know her stuff. Matter of fact, she said stuff that my doctor has said. And I was like, whoa. Matter of fact, she told me this and this, and this. And as a result, I got this result. I got receipts. The reason you're not confident is because you're not putting into play. You're not putting into play the things you already know, because you're allowing your lack of confidence and your inferiority tell you a different story. Because traditionally in America, we believe we only earn money. We only deserve money if we went to school to sell the information that we're telling people. And let me tell you a bonus one before I get out of here, because shout out to over delivering, right? Let me give you guys a bonus one. Okay. Francis, like, this is good. Okay. What's up, Francis? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Okay. Let me give you guys a bonus one. Let me tell you another reason why people are not making money in their business, why they have knowledge, they have mastery over something, they have receipts, they have done a thing that they got receipts for. Let me tell you another reason why people are not making money in their business. Now, this is for the people who have the receipts, who have the proven process that they've turned into a package process for somebody else to follow. So you have a package process. Like if you want to get out of debt, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Like you've done the thing. You ain't went to school for credit repair or financial literacy, but you've managed to get yourself out of 6 figures worth of debt and move into financial independence, right? But you scared to help people in exchange for money. So let's say you have done all that. You've got the proven process that you've turn into a package process. Here's the bonus one for you. Here's the second reason why people are going to run themselves out of business because they're too afraid to charge or feel so ashamed of charging. And this was a wild one for me too. I got over it quick though. It's because what you do is too enjoyable. The other reason, besides imposter syndrome, that people run themselves out of business is because you enjoy what you do so much that charging feels wrong. I was here once. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, y'all listening to me right now, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, right? Y'all listening to me right now. Like, can y'all tell I'm having fun? Can y'all tell I'm having a good time? Like, can you tell I love this stuff? Can you tell I love talking business? Can you tell I love talking health? That's the same thing that goes for a lot of y'all. Y'all so in love with your subject matter. Like, you be at the dinner party waiting for somebody to bring it up so you could just go off. Like, you waiting for somebody to just hint that the conversation is about to go in this direction and you about to go off. Like, sometimes I be on the edge of my seat waiting for somebody to be like, talk about health. I'm like, oh, tag me in, right? Like, you love what you talk about so much. You love what you do so much. You feel complete guilt at the thought of somebody giving you money in exchange for something that you enjoy. Here's the second 9 to 5 belief that's going to run you out of business. Laborious and stressful conditions are the only way you earn money. That down. The second 9 to 5 belief that's going to run your business out of business is that money is only deserving when it came through a stressful and overwhelming means. So when we work hard for the money, like, I went to work for 2 weeks. I was tired. I stayed over. I was stressed out. People called in. I had to cover and do their work. I hated every minute of it. I earned this paycheck. But what if you went to work for 2 weeks happy as hell? What if you went to work for 2 weeks and only worked 4 hours a day and only 5 days a week? What if you went to work for 2 weeks and only talked about the things that you enjoy? What if you went to work for 2 weeks and only worked with people that you genuinely enjoy? Like, people that could low-key be friends. That's where I am right now. Like, some of my clients, like, I mess with them heavy. Like, some of my clients, like, they could be straight up friends. Like, I'm like, man, I love you. Like, I get done kicking it with some clients and I just be so happy. Like, I can't believe they pay me. That's what it be. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's the second way you're going to run yourself out of business. You done messed around and believed, because you done hated so many of your jobs before now, that money is only deserving when you got it from stressing yourself out, from overwhelm, from sacrificing your health, from sacrificing time with your family. And that is the only time you earned your paycheck. But if you got it from doing something that you would probably do for free, when you earn money from doing something that you have historically done for free, when you earn money from doing something that don't stress you out, like, when I get off of this, I don't need a nap. Like, when I get off of this, I'm like, I'm about to go to the grocery store. I'm about to go hang out. I'm going to lunch today. Like, it's a good day. And I'm about to monetize this podcast episode. Like, it feels wrong because you enjoyed it. So that's the second thing I want you to be wary of. I want you to be, or should I say conscious of, is don't think you don't deserve the money because you enjoy doing the work. Don't think you don't deserve the money because you enjoy doing the work. It's okay to monetize pleasure. It's okay to not monetize pleasure too. Let's be clear. You get to do both. Like, I work for free and I charge. I do both. I do both equally. When I started charging, I didn't stop working for free, right? And when I work for free, I ain't stopped charging. Like, you can do both equally, but be careful with being afraid of monetizing pleasure. Like, I genuinely enjoy speaking, teaching, coaching, creating curriculums, creating programming, meeting with my clients every week. Like, we be laughing. I'm like, did I just laugh with my mastermind members for an hour and 15 minutes? Like, we cracking jokes. We making plans for a retreat. Like, we're celebrating wins, and it still costs. So be careful, because that will run you out of business too. You really think that money is only deserving when it was backbreaking, stressful work that required you to sacrifice your health, sacrifice your time. I'd be like, dang, did I just coach for 2 hours and go spend the next 4 hours with somebody I love? Did I just coach for 2 hours and take the rest of the day off? Yes, I did. And I still deserve the money, even though I was happy, even though I'm not stressed, even though my health is not compromised. Okay. Do y'all got it? So those 2 9 to 5 beliefs are going to run you out of business if you're in the online education, shared knowledge space, the coaching space, the intellectual property space. If you sell intellectual property for a living and you are not properly charging, or you're not charging at all because you weren't formally educated, that is going to run you out of business. If you're in the intellectual property space and you're not charging, or you're undercharging because you enjoy what you do so much that you feel wrong charging because you just want to help everybody, you're going to run yourself out of business. And it's okay if you want a nonprofit, but nonprofit needs to make money too to stay in business. Okay, you can still be a nonprofit. You could be a social enterprise, which is like this beautiful gray area between a complete for-profit and a nonprofit, where you take some of the money and you give back. Like, shout out to Tom's Shoes, right? You could be a social enterprise, whatever it is, but you still got to make money to serve the have-nots. So y'all need to stop with this inferiority, this imposter syndrome, this I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, no confidence, because it's going to run you out of business. You must charge appropriately, because if you have a receipt and you have a proven process that you can turn into a package process, it deserves to be monetized. And if you enjoy your work, if you're happy when you do your work, if you still sleep good at night when you do your work, if you're still able to be healthy while you do your work, if you can still laugh and enjoy the people you work with while you do your work, you still should be charging. So don't work for free just because your work is fun, okay? And don't work for free just because you didn't go to somebody's university for a medical degree. Shout out to me. Y'all got it? Okay, I saw a couple of hearts. I think y'all got it. Francis said, my clients actually stopped me from undercharging. They said, you need to be charging more for your massage therapy. I'm telling you, be careful. Okay, they said the MacBook about to die, y'all. And also plug up your devices if you want to save your content. You feel me? So that's it. And that's all. Listen, guess what I'm going to be talking about next week? If you guys enjoyed today's episode, let me tell you about next Monday's episode. Next Monday's episode is called How to Be New at Anything. How to Be New at Anything. Okay. So next week, on next week's episode, I got to start changing my tone. Transition. On next week's episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to be new at anything. So if you are battling imposter syndrome or just like inferiority because you're new at something and you feel like you don't know what you're doing, and the fact that you don't know what you're doing makes you want to quit, you need to be back here next Monday at 10 a.m. EST on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, because I'm going to teach you how to be new at anything. One of the most common things I see with my coaches in my business accelerator when I'm helping them build their coaching business is how much their confidence drops when they try to do something they've never done before. That's what I see over and over again. How much their confidence drops when they try to do something they've never done before. So I'm dedicating next week's episode to that group of individuals, especially my coaches, to be new at anything, at any age, any point in time. I never thought I would teach something like this. I never thought I would have to create a framework to how to be new at something. But my clients are my muse. And so when I see them struggling with something, imagine that there's a lot more people struggling with the exact same thing. And so I create an episode about it. So here we are. That's why my favorite line that we all laugh at in my mastermind is, I got a podcast episode about that. Because all I do is take the things that I see clients struggling with privately, and I create a public episode about it. So that's a tip for you online educators, you coaches, you entrepreneurs. Listen to what your clients and your prospects are saying privately. And you can bet that many other people are struggling with the same thing. And you come out and you create content about that, right? Create a podcast about that, go live about that, create a blog about that. Whatever they're struggling with privately, believe in themselves, investing in themselves, right? Whatever it is, create content about that, because it's likely that many other people are still struggling, right? And if you want to position yourself as credible, if you want to position yourself as an authority, just talk about the things that people are thinking. Don't talk about what you care about. Talk about the things that people are struggling with. I told you guys today's episode was inspired by a prospect that actually she's now a client. She enrolled in our business accelerator this week. And she told me this during a suitability interview, how she hasn't been charging because she's like, I didn't go to school for this. I'm like, got Monday's episode. This is where I get all my content from. I get it from y'all. Every time y'all tell me something y'all thinking, and I know you need to be thinking something different, I just come on here and tell you what to think instead. So that's a content tip that you guys did not ask for, okay? So next week, how to be new at anything. Same time, same place. I'll see you guys then. Have a phenomenal day. And remember to believe in yourself. I'm out.